executing. First we are running this program. So here first it is asking for player choice. So either we can take X or O, okay, as player choice. So let me enter X for player and O will take, computer will take O, okay. So the first, then here it will display who will be going first. So the computer will be going first here. So the computer letter is O. So computer we have taken O. So this is the computer letter. Now it is asking for the player letter. Okay, here you enter the player letter. So you remember that here the locations are given like this. Index for the locations are given like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the index. So for example, if you want to take this location, center location, so the location value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the location for center. Now I will enter 5. Okay. So in the center, the player letter will be placed and computer are already selected this position. Okay. Now you select one move for player. So here we are selecting 4. So otherwise the computer will win the game. Okay. So here we have taken 4. Now the computer has selected this position so that it avoids this. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll consider this location. So if this is the location, then this is 6, 7, 8, 8th location. Let me select 8th location here. So in the 8th location, X is placed. Okay. Now I have to select this location, otherwise the computer will win the game. So let me take third location. So the computer, see here the third location. So there is a tie, no? There is tie, so it is given the game is tied. Okay. So here, do you want to play again? It is asking. So we don't want to play again. So if you just enter no, we don't need to enter again. We don't need to play again. Okay. So let us discuss the program now, students. So first, here we are importing random. So because the computer will be selecting the moves randomly, so we have to import random here. Okay. Now first, we need to draw the board. So, how we have drawn the board here, just observe the board, students. If you observe the board here, here we have 3 vertical lines, then horizontal line, vertical line, then horizontal line. 3 vertical lines we have, okay. So, that is why the board is given here, just observe 3 vertical lines, okay. This vertical line, here one more vertical line, 3 vertical lines, and this is the board 7th location, 8th location, 9th location. The top row indicates 7th, 8th, 9th location, and the middle row is 4, 5, 6, and the bottom row is 1, 2, 3. So like this is the format we are using to draw the board. So first function is to draw the board. Okay, whenever it is asked draw the board will be printed. Okay, then what is the next function we are using here is it is asking for player input. Okay, player can select the value x as its letter or o as its letter. Okay, so if the player is selecting x as its letter, then the computer letter will be o. Say for example, if player selects O as its letter, then X will be the computer letter. So this particular function will return the player letter, then computer letter. Okay. So it will check if the letter is equal to X or O. So whatever letter the player enters, that will be considered. If letter is equal to X, then the player letter is X, the computer letter will be O. Otherwise, the player letter will be O and the computer letter will be X. So this particular function will return what are the letters for player and computer. Okay. Then who will be playing first? Who will be playing first? That will be selected randomly, students. So here it will be selected randomly the value 0 or 1. So if the value is 0 is selected randomly, then the computer will be played first. Otherwise, the player will be playing. So 0 we used to indicate that computer will be playing first. 1 we are using to indicate that the player will be playing first. Okay. Then it is asking whether to play again or not, yes or no. So this function will return true if the player wants to play the game again. Okay, otherwise it returns false. Okay, so it is taking the input as by yes or no. So if the input starts with y, then it returns true. Okay, so then the game will be played once again. Okay, now this is the function to make the move. So we want to assign the letter to particular location in the board. Okay. How we are assigning particular letter to the board here is by using this function. Okay. So for this function, board, the letter and move. Move means the location. Which location will be given as input. Okay. So in the board, at that particular location, the letter will be assigned. Okay. So this is that the letter will be placed in the particular location in the board. Okay. So this is the function to place particular letter in the board. Okay. Then here we need to check whether uh, after placing the letters in the board, we need to check whether the player or computer is winning or not. How do we check whether is it winning or not here? So by using this, okay. So what are the different combinations for winning position? So the winning position combinations are when we get all the, see here in the top row, if you are getting all the letters, same the letter in top row, then the particular player or computer will be winning. Okay, so if we have same letter in middle row, if we have same letters in bottom row, or in the first column, second column, third column, in diagonals. Okay, we should not have the same letters. Okay, if we have same letters in these 8 combinations. Okay, in all the 3 rows, all the 3 columns, and both the diagonals. Okay, in all these 8 combination, if you have the letters, then we say that particular letter who is having that particular letter will be winning. Okay, so here we are checking the same thing. So in the top row, 7, 8, 9. See here, and use means in all the locations the value should be same. Same letter we should have. Okay, in the top row or in the middle row. So what is the locations for location numbers for the middle row? It is 4, 5, 6. So here again and is used. So it means that it is compulsory that in all these locations it should have the same letter, or otherwise in the bottom row we should have the same letter, or we should have the left side or in the middle column or right column or in one diagonal in other diagonal. So if you have any one of this, then it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Okay. So it is used to check after placing the letters on the board. It is used to check whether that particular letter, who is placing that letter, is giving winning position or not. Okay. Now, next, we want to get the copy of board every time. Okay. So to get the copy of your board, duplicate copy of the board, this is the function we are using to get the duplicate copy of the board. Okay. So whenever we are placing some value, whenever we are selecting some location, we need to check whether that location is free or not. Okay. So if the location is free, then only that particular location will be selected. Otherwise, that location will not be selected. Yes or no? So this function is free function will return true whenever the location, whatever is passed, is free or not. Okay. So if it is not free, it returns false. Okay. So this function will be used whenever it is asking for location to check whether that location is free or not. Okay. Now to get the player moves. So what is that means which location the player wants to enter to get the player move. So this is the function we are using to get the player move. Here initially move is empty. Move is empty. Now move should be in any one of these values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So any one of this move should be in any one of this. And we should remember that whichever location we are selecting, that location should be free. Yes or no? That location should be free. So if that location is not free, then you cannot enter. Yes or no? So once this is true, then only it will be asking for what is the next move for the player. Okay, so whatever move we have entered, that will be given as the output. Okay, so that will be written as int value, integer value. Okay, now this is to select the move for computer. Choose random move from the list. Okay, so how the computer will be choosing the move. So the computer will be choosing randomly, choose random move from the list. So here we will be having the list. From that list, okay, the computer will be selecting the move randomly. So initially, what is possible moves? Possible moves will be empty. So I is in the move list. Here we are assigning the new move list one. So we are assigning some values. If I is in the move list, okay. So once we are getting this I value, we need to check whether that location is free in the board or not. So is free is used every time to check whether that location is free or not. If that location is free, then it will be appended to the possible nodes. What are the possible nodes are there? In that it will be appended. Okay. So if the length of possible move is not equal to 0, so this here we should have some of the possible moves. If this there is no possible moves means the computer cannot select any move. Yes or no? So if it is having some possible moves, then computer will be selecting any one of the move randomly. So it will choose the move randomly. Okay. So if there are no possible moves, it will not select any move. It returns none. Okay. So this is to choose the move for computers. Okay. Now get computer move. So whatever value is selected here, that will be placed in the board. Okay. So get move for the computer is given a board and computer letter determining whether to move or return that move. Okay. So here if the computer see the computer letter is X, player letter is if computer letter is X, then the player letter will be 0. Else the player letter will be X. Okay. Now we have for I in range 1 to 10. Okay. So a copy, get, board, copy. So here we are getting the board copy here. Okay. Now we will be checking whether that particular location in the board is free or not. Okay. If that particular location in the board is free, then we are copying that particular letter, the computer letter, into that particular location. Okay. So once we copy that computer letter into that particular location, we will be checking is computer is winning or not. Okay. So if the computer like that, for once every value is entered into the board, we will be checking whether it is winning or not for computer as well as in the for player. Okay. So then it returns I. Similarly, this is for player. Okay, the same thing, the same program is written for the player. So for I in range 1 to 10, get the board copy. Okay, then after getting board copy, we will be checking whether that particular location the board is free or not. If it is free, then it will be placed. The player letter will be placed. After placing the player letter, we will be checking that whether player is winning or not. Okay, so after that, so the move here, choose random moves from the list. Okay. So how it will be selecting random moves, the computer. So first it will be selecting all corners now. What are the corners? Actually, what is the location for the corners here? 1379 are the locations in the corners. Okay. The computer will be selecting its corners. Okay. After selecting the corners, what is next it will be selecting is the center. Try to take the center if it is free. If center is free or not, it will check. So it will center is free. It will select the center. Okay. Then it will also select from the other corners, other values, that is 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. So the computer will be given preference for first corners and then center. Then the one of the sides. It will be selecting one of the sides. Like this, it will be taking the preference. The computer will be taking preference. Okay. Now we need to define one more function. So once not only we need to check whether the positions in the board is free or not, we should also check whether the board is full or not. Okay, so this is the function we use to check whether the board is full or not. If the board is full, it returns true. If the board is not full, it returns false. Okay, now here if you see this program, so initially we while we are using while is true, then we are selecting the board with 10 values, because in the Python, you know that the index will start from 0. But in our board, the index here we are taking the location 1 to 9. Okay. In the Python, if you say if you 0 to 9, so 10 values. So that is why here we have taken 10. Okay. So input player letter. This function, what is that it will do? It returns the player letter and computer letter. Okay, this function returns the player letter and computer letter. Then who goes first? This function returns who will be, depending on random value selected. If random value is selected as 0, then computer will be playing first, otherwise the player will be playing first. Okay, then it will print the same thing. Okay, if the computer is going first, right, the computer will go first. Otherwise, it will print the player will go first. Okay. Then game playing is true. Initially, we made game playing is true. Then when any one player is winning, we make game playing false. Okay. Otherwise, the board is full. Also, we can make game playing is false. Okay. So since while game playing is true, no, since it is true, it enters into the loop. So it will check whose turn it is. If it is player's turn, okay, then it will draw the board. Initially, it has to draw the board. After drawing board, what it will do? It will get player move. It will ask for the player move, yes or no. Once it is getting the location of player, the same thing will be placed in the board. The same thing will be placed in a board, and it will check whether the player, whichever move he has given, is it giving winning position or not. If it is giving winning position, it will draw the board and print that the player won the game. So once the player won the game, it returns false. Okay. Otherwise, it will check whether the board is full or not. If the board is full, then it is the tie. Okay. And it will break and it will come out from the loop. Otherwise, it will go for computer turn. Okay. When these two are false, then it will go for computer turn. So what is the computer turn? In the computer turn, it will get the computer move. It will select the computer move randomly. Okay, then that computer letter will be placed in the board. So the second function is used to place the computer letter on the board. Then it will be checking whether that position, whatever computer is taking, will give the winning position or not. If it is giving winning position, it will print the same, and it will make the player game playing false, so that it will come out from the loop. Okay. So otherwise, it will check whether the board is full or not. If board is full, it will write the game is tied, and it will break the loop. Otherwise, it will give turn to the player. Okay. So this will continue till any one of the player, that is player or computer is winning. Otherwise, the game is tied. Okay. This will continue. Okay. Then finally, once this it comes from the loop, it will ask whether to play again the game or not. If we enter no, it will come out from the loop. Otherwise, it will go enter into the loop once again. Okay. So this is the Tic Tac game, students. Okay, let us run this program once again. So here we have seen that it is asking for the choice. Let us enter O now. O is the player choice. See here again, it is computer choice to go first. Computer selected this position. X is the computer letter. O is our letter. Okay. Now here we enter our location. So let us enter 3. Okay. So since 3 is already occupied, no, again it is asking. So when it is already occupied, then it will ask once again. Let us enter 1 now. Okay. Now computer has selected the position. Okay. Now let us enter 5. Otherwise we lose the game. Okay. Uh, Now I think we will lose the game. Okay. So let us select 6. So the computer has beaten you, you lose the game. Okay. So like this we can design TikTok for you. Any doubts here?